So we're in Fresno, California. We just finished installing this faucet. This is an all-in-one kit. It's a Kohler, and I don't know the model number, but it comes in a huge box. And what they give you is they give you a sink. They give you a couple of basket strainers. Obviously, in this installation, there's a garbage disposal on one side, but they do provide both the basket strainers, so brand new. They give you a faucet, and then of course they give you the sink, and then all the mounting clips for it. And so what was really nice is the existing sink that was in here, we pulled it out, and this was a direct fit. Went straight in. We've got siliconized caulking underneath all the way around. Before we put this down in there, we took a nice big bead all the way around, squished it in place, tightened out all the clips, and then wiped it clean. And so that's sealed from underneath. You won't see anything outside, maybe a little bit of leftover, but nothing else that will, that is sticking out like silicone or whatever. Anyway, so the faucet's installed. We've tested that out. It's working great. Underneath the sink is existing garbage disposal, so we pulled it from the old sink, put it back on the new sink, so that is good, sitting right here. And then, of course, the other side, the waste was the old Schedule 40 P-trap and whatnot, and it didn't really line up with the new sink. So what we did is made a transition back here. Plus, there was let me back up there. There was an old Calder coupling in there, which is not supposed to be installed on this pipe. It should have been a stainless steel band if you want to use that. So what we did is we just took a transition coupling there to go from the Schedule 40 pipe over to the tubular piping. Got a nice long extension there with a nut on it, over to a tubular P-trap, up to a tubular telescoping disposal kit. So that just goes straight over. That piece right there, actually, if you loosen that nut and pull these two screws, that piece telescopes in and out, which makes it real nice. If you got to work on this disposal, change it, that just pulls out of the way and you have to take all your plumbing apart. Tailpiece is brand new right there. The nut is new with the basket strainer, so we did not provide the basket strainer. That came with the all-in-one kit from Kohler. So all of that piping is ours. In the back, what we did, we went ahead and replaced these shutoff valves. So you can see there, quarter-turn shutoff valve on the hot and the cold side. They had a mishmash of piping in here. T's and shutoff valves and piping running around. So what we did is we just pulled it all out. And we got, these are quarter turn. Quarter turn to the right is off, quarter turn to the left is back on. And then we've got some brass T's on top. Those are angle valve adapters. All it is on the bottom side, it's a gasket, and then it's a female compression thread, so it tightens down to the angle stop. Then off the top, you can see on the hot side, it's got a full 3/8 for the faucet connection and a full 3/8 for the copper connection from the dishwasher. Over on the cold side, a full 3/8 on top for the faucet, and then of course on the side, you've got the full 1/4 inch for the refrigerator line. We did recommend to the homeowner that at some point you upgrade to braided stainless steel supplies. Copper usually holds pretty good. That's you can't crush that. You can't really damage that. The plastic, I don't really like it. I mean, it's used in a lot of applications. This one does not have the brass sleeve inside. And, like I say, that's an existing pipe, so we don't bring 1/4 inch sleeves for plastic tubing. So it's just got the integrated ferrule and then the nut on there. It's tied back in. No dripping. I'd monitor this area to make sure you don't get any water out of those valves, any water out of the T's, any point of connection. You really, your whole house you need to go through and from time to time and check, make sure nothing's developing, because once water gets away from you, you got a lot of damage. Same thing with all these connections here, the P-trap and whatnot. You want to monitor that, make sure there's no leaking. You also do want to run a load of dishes and see how it discharges over to the disposal. Make sure everything's working right there. We did replace the air gap. That's a brand new air gap. The cover is existing, but the air gap is new. We got a little piece of hose here that we brought with us to help extend it over, because the old air gap was actually on the left next to the faucet, and now this is far right, so it's quite a stretch over there. This arm is encroaching upon 30 inches out, which is maximum that you can go on an 1.5 inch arm before it starts running dry. But I think it's well within code right now. So everything is in. We've run water down both sides. Everything looks good. Outside of that, this installation is done.